Hey everyone, Steve Malloy here. Are pesticide residues in food poisoning us? You might be hearing a lot of casual scaremongering and slandering of pesticides on TV and in social media by personalities that you respect and like. But none of them really know anything about pesticides, so let me help you out. More than 30 years ago, the National Research Council, part of the National Academy of Sciences, published a report entitled Pesticides in the Diets of Infants and Children. This report was compiled by a panel of scientists, physicians, regulators, activists, and a single food industry representative. The panel was led by anti-pesticide activist Dr. Philip Landrigan of the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, who never met a chemical he couldn't attack. In this almost 400-page report, which includes a comprehensive discussion of pesticide toxicology, there is not a single example of a legally applied pesticide causing any harm to anyone. I will repeat that. There was not a single example of a legally applied pesticide causing any harm to anyone. And that conclusion was reached after 40 years of use of some of the most powerful pesticides. Even Dr. Landrigan, the anti-pesticide chair of the panel, explicitly admitted this in an interview at the time. In the ensuing 30 years, pesticide regulation has only been tightened, and there is still no credible evidence of a legally used pesticide causing any harm whatsoever. The reason for this reality is that while pesticide residues are permitted to remain on and in foods, the permitted residue levels are set at orders of magnitude below levels that might cause harm. The basic principle of toxicology, which is the study of poisons, is that the dose makes the poison. Every substance is toxic at some level, including the purest water, but no legally applied pesticide has ever exceeded a toxic threshold so as to harm anyone ever. It's quite a record. Pesticides are safe when used as directed. Before pesticides can be applied to crops, they undergo a rigorous testing procedure overseen by EPA, which, by the way, is staffed with anti-pesticide activists. The USDA routinely tests produce for violations. More than 99% of tested produce does not exceed EPA guidelines, and recall that EPA guidelines are set at much more stringent levels than necessary. If EPA approves a pesticide for use, you can rely on its absolute safety as long as it's legally used according to the approved directions on the label. What's dangerous are the junk science-fueled activists who mindlessly scare people about pesticides and want to ban them. If you want to wreck our food supply, ban pesticides. You'll be paying an arm and a leg for food, if you can even find it. Pesticides are an essential for an abundant and affordable food supply. Organic foods, which actually have their own set of approved pesticides, are not safer or healthier than non-organic or conventionally grown foods. Organic foods are just more expensive, but that's a story for another time. Stay up with the latest in food hysteria. Follow me on X at Junk Science and my website, junkscience.com. Thanks for watching.